I was scrolling through Marketplace when I found a deal on some crazy wood. This guy was selling some walnut, cherry, and maple for initially $50. Then he upped it to $100. And once I got there, tried to up it a little more, but I was able to get this for $115. This whole section of wood here, and it has a lot of good variety with good grain. So we're gonna go through this. I think I can make some charcuterie boards and or serving boards with a lot of this, because he already cleaned the raw edge, because he was using it for epoxy. I'm not making epoxy cutting boards, so I'm gonna go find about 6 boards worth for each type of wood, and then the rest, I'm gonna rip up on the table saw to make some cutting boards. So let's get to it.
Sorry for my not so great microphone. I did not realize how echoey my garage was gonna be. This is the first video I filmed in here, and we had a lot of wood to go through. Like I said, the guy that I bought these from used to make epoxy cutting boards, so he would rip slabs in half, turn them inward, and fill with epoxy. I was doing the opposite. I wanted to find matching slabs like this one that we could glue back together to make live edge charcuterie boards and serving boards. We ended up having walnut, some eastern maple, cherry, and exotic hard koa wood. I've never worked with a lot of these, so we were able to find a good amount of matching pieces that I wanted to rip and glue back together to make our boards.
So I took some of the planks that we got and glued them together. This one's only been in a clamp for like 5 hours, so we're risking it going through the planer, but I'm on a time crunch. I have one more day before I do a show. But these two are looking good and ready to be planed and cut down into serving boards. So let's get to it.
I have not worked with live edge wood very much, so the one thing I was not prepared to do was get this edge straight. I needed to get both sides of my board parallel to each other. So I took this first one, measured out what I believed was parallel, and then cut it on my chop saw. Sadly, I don't have a miter, so I had to lift it up and try and get it to be flat, but it ended up not being as clean of a cut as I wanted. So then I went over to my table saw and I wanted to rip the other end with the table saw. I do not recommend doing this. It's not the smartest idea when you have such a narrow board, but I put it against my fence and was able to get a straight cut off the end to have 2 parallel sides on my board. Rather than trying to put it back through the table saw again to clean up that other edge that we cut earlier, I ended up just getting my track. I have the Craig AccuCut. Do not recommend this, honestly. If you're gonna buy anything, it's fine for plywood and stuff, but for finished wood, it's not the most accurate. So I ended up cutting my other edge on this so that we could get them perfectly parallel. After getting that cut, we were on to one of our final steps, which is sanding. I am not 100% sure what this wood honestly is. I think it's koa wood, and I think one of the other ones is a cherry wood, but I'm not 100% sure. The guy did not tell me, and like I said, I work with maple and walnut mainly, so those are kind of the only ones I know. But if you know what this is, and it is not koa, feel free to let me know in the comments. Once we got these sanded down, it was time to finish. And first I had to wipe it down with a little bit of water. You should probably use some sort of mineral spirits or something that'll evaporate, but I just gave it some time to dry, and then it was on to our finish.
So now we're on to finishing them. I actually got another one done with the handles on, and I got the handles on this, I believe it's koa wood board. I honestly don't know what this wood is. I got it for, like I said, pretty cheap. So I'm ready to finish these. I usually use, this stuff's a little more expensive. This is Howard's cutting board oil. You can just buy mineral oil for like 30 bucks a gallon. This is only 12 ounces. So going forward, I'm gonna buy by the gallon, but this stuff is worth it. This is the Butcher Block conditioner. This is what you wanna use if you're using your board a lot. But I was only using this for a while and not getting the finish I wanted, so I started using this oil as well. So I'm just gonna spread this on here and we're just gonna rub it in. We're gonna have to let this soak, and this is a very hard wood, so I don't think this is gonna soak up very quickly. But we just wanna try to cover this whole board as best we can, and then I'm gonna head out and let this soak for the next few hours. You have to do this a couple times. I recommend 4 coats, probably 2 or 3 coats of the oil and at least 1 or 2 of the conditioner. But that will work for this board right there. So I'm gonna let that soak up. Try not to get the handles too oily. And then I'm actually gonna do this one as well since we're here. I don't wanna get oil everywhere though, so let's see if we can keep this relatively clean. Oh yeah, that brings that grain out a lot better. This board though is gonna suck up a lot of oil. It's a little bit of a softer wood. You can use a rag for this, but I used to. But then I saw somebody recently who just rubbed it in, and I've honestly been having better results just rubbing it in. So that's what we're doing.
And that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys learned something, or at least were entertained for a little while. I'm still working on getting the correct audio and camera angles. I'm pretty new to this still, but I hope you enjoyed. I was going to put some clips of these boards on at the end, but I ended up selling these the next day at a market and was not able to get any footage. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like and subscribe down below. Trying to see what we can do before the end of the year. And I got a lot of cool builds coming in soon. Working on a new table, along with some other cool cutting boards and wood pieces. So thank you guys, and I'll talk to you later.